I thought you said Slurpees. No, not happening. Hey, what's up? This is Ben from WODprep, and in this video, I'm gonna help you get better at burpees. We're gonna talk about the 6 biggest CrossFit burpee mistakes. So if you wanna make burpees suck a little bit less, this is the video for you. Stick around to the end. I actually have a couple freebies that I want to give you that are guaranteed to help level up your mental and physical performance. So before we talk about all the mistakes people make with their burpees and mistakes that you might be making, let's just go over really quickly exactly what we're looking for in a traditional burpee. Now, we know there's a million different kinds of burpees, and we will cover that in later videos, but a standard CrossFit burpee is this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to touch my chest to the ground, and then I'm going to jump and clap at the same time. That's it. Here's what it looks like. That's it. That's the standard. I'm going down, touching my chest, and then I jump, get off the ground, even if it's just a little bit, and clap with my hands above my head. Now, like I said, there's a million different versions. We're not going to go over all those, but those fundamental steps, that is what you need to know to fix all of these mistakes that we're about to go over. So let's start with mistake number 1. CrossFit burpee mistake number 1 is the military burpee, or sometimes I'll call it the strict burpee. It looks just like this. All I'm doing is I'm doing the standards of movement, but you're doing it way more difficult than you need to. So it would look something like this, where I hop down to the ground, I do a very strict push-up, come up, jump and clap. So all we're doing there is we're wasting a lot of energy. We're doing the standards, so that's good, but I'm wasting a ton of energy by doing a super strict push-up to touch my chest and then jump off the ground. This is really common for a lot of athletes who are beginners because they see it, they're like, oh, that's a push-up into a jump. So they do this really strict push-up and they wind up fatiguing themselves tremendously. So remember, you do not need to do a strict push-up. The standard of movement is simply to touch your chest to the ground. So rather than doing a strict push-up, here's all you need to do. All I'm gonna do is lower myself down to the ground by splatting to the ground. So here I am coming down and I'm just dropping to the ground. And then when I get up off the ground, I'm simply getting off the ground, however easy I want that to be. Just get down to the ground and get back up and avoid the strict or the military push-up. Okay, CrossFit burpee mistake number 2. And that is what we like to call here at WODprep, the quick nap. So all the quick nap burpee is when you're at the bottom of your burpee, you waste a lot of time down there. Here's what it might look like in the middle of a workout. You're going down for your burpee, you get down to the bottom, and you just kind of stay here for a couple breaths. Maybe notice that you have dogs at the gym. Maybe you notice that, this floor hasn't been cleaned in a while. And then whenever you feel like you want to get up, you finally, lazily, get up feeling refreshed. And then you finish your burpee. Sometimes it might even be a quick nap where you lay your head on the ground. Ultimately, what we're talking about here is wasting time at the bottom of the push-up. It is much more efficient for you as a burpee-er to rest and breathe here compared to down on the floor. If you're laying on the floor, you are not going, especially if you're laying chest down, you're not going to be able to breathe nearly as efficiently as just standing up. So if you're going to take a break or a nap or any sort of breather during your burpees, it should be here when you're standing. Because from here, I can go down, come back up very, very easily. It should be one fluid motion rather than going down to the ground, taking a quick nap, and then getting up off the ground. So remember, don't make mistake number 2. Don't take a nap at the bottom of your burpees. CrossFit burpee mistake number 3, we call it the all arms burpee. So while getting big arms and doing CrossFit might seem cool, we do not want to be getting big arms when we're doing burpees. Burpees are meant to be efficient. It's how we can get a lot of work into a short, explosive movement. So if you're only using your arms during the burpee, you're actually missing out on a lot of the potential fitness benefits of the burpee. We want to be using our hips, we want to be using our legs, our core, and yes, a little bit of our arms. But this mistake number 3, the all arms burpee, looks a little bit like this. When you come down to the ground, maybe you lower yourself slowly, which we talked about with the military burpee, mistake number 1. But when you get up off the ground, this is where a lot of people make the critical mistake of pushing completely with their arms, and they get to full extension, and they don't even use their hips, and they just kind of like barely bunny hop up. So it's full arm extension with no hip drive. That's what we call the all arms burpee, and it's something we do not want to practice. If you're going for efficiency, if you're going for speed, even if you're going for longevity in the burpee, if you want to be able to do a lot of them, you want to use your hips and legs as much as possible. So avoid pressing completely with the arms. Remember, instead, I'll show you a good version here. What I should do is when I come down for the burpee, I come down, touch my chest to the deck, and then from here, I press and then pop my hips. So this is going to be really fast, but I press and pop my hips. And then stand up. So we want to see an aggressive, quick hip extension. Try to use your arms as little as possible, and you will avoid mistake number 3, the all-arm burpee. Sorry for the interruption, folks. There's 15 seconds on the clock, and if I can beat you in a 15-second burpee off, you need to smash that subscribe button. Oh. keep rolling, my mic. Ah. All right, let's talk about CrossFit burpee mistake number 4. This is what I call the squatty potty burpee. Really, it has nothing to do with the brand or the product, Squatty Potty. I do love that brand and that product and that commercial. This is just simply the person who absolutely refuses to do a burpee without also completing a squat. Here's what it looks like, and I know all of you who've been doing functional fitness for any amount of time are nodding your heads and saying, yep, I've either done that or I've seen people do it. Here's what it looks like. When you come down, it doesn't really matter how you get down. You touch your chest, all that's great. But for whatever reason, the squatty potty burpee-er jumps up, and every time they bottom out into a squat before they jump and clap. A lot of times they'll combine this with being on their tippy toes in a whole bunch of different ways, but there is no reason for you to do a full dead bottom squat with every burpee you do. So as a refresher, let me show you the good, and then we'll go back to the bad. So the good version of the burpee, again, is I touch my chest to the deck, I splat down, and then I simply jump up with a nice big hip explosion, drive my heels into the ground, jump and clap. You can play around with the width of your feet, but you never, ever, ever need to do this, which is, right? It just looks silly. You don't need to do a bottomed out squat for every single burpee that you do. So if you see someone making this mistake, just call them the squatty potty burpee-er, and they'll probably never do it again. Or next time you do it, if you feel like you need to get into a squat every single time, ask yourself why. You're just doing way more work than you need to. Eliminate the squat and your burpee will get much more efficient and easier. CrossFit burpee mistake numero 5. I believe that's 5. And this one is a personal favorite of mine to coach and or correct, and that is the twinkle toes burpee. So this is for the athlete. Again, this is a very common athlete in the gym. This is the athlete who refuses to efficiently move their feet. Instead, they're just stepping every which way. So here's what it might look like. This is probably a tad bit exaggerated, but it could look something like this. All right. All right, I know that looked ridiculous. I felt ridiculous doing it, but for some reason, there are so many athletes out there who refuse to take the path of least resistance when doing a burpee. For whatever reason, they need to hop around. They need to step awkwardly and move their feet around as much as possible. The ground is not hot lava here, folks. You can methodically move through your burpees smoothly and efficiently and be much, much better for it. Instead of letting your feet slide around and hop around, just come up with a very clear, very smooth, specific cadence for each one of your burpees, and you will see your efficiency climb through the roof. If you watch a CrossFit Games athlete, maybe during the open or some of the best open scores, you'll notice that they're very, very methodical, where every single burpee and every single step looks the same. So rather than being Mr. and or Mrs. Twinkle Toes with your burpee, keep them smooth. Watch my feet here as I do one more. Keep your feet smooth, have them go back, come up, and jump. Your feet don't need to move very much when you're doing burpees. I promise you it'll make you more efficient. Last but not least, we have the final 6th burpee mistake that CrossFitters make, and that is cheating. Okay, no one likes a cheater, and I just ask that when you're doing burpees, do not cheat yourself and do not cheat the other athletes that you might be working out with. Here are common ways that people cheat with their burpees. Number 1, they refuse to actually leave the ground. So that would be a burpee that looks like this, or, you know, hey, maybe they touch their chest, and then they just clap above their head and they don't leave the ground. Or maybe you don't clap above your head. Maybe you just kind of go like this and just kind of like dangle your arms above your head. Or maybe you're the person who does this. This is where you cheat by not touching your chest to the deck. That could look like this. Right? It's more of like a ground humping burpee or something like that. We need to make sure that we meet the standards. And then one thing that I don't think I mentioned very early in the video is that when it comes to the standards for burpees, oftentimes we're looking for hip extension. So this could be a form of cheating in your burpees, and that is simply not getting your hips extended all the way. So maybe you touch your chest to the deck, you hop up and you just go, and then you're back down, right? That would be a no rep, technically, by most burpee standards. So check your standards, or if you don't know the standard, ask your coach, ask the people you're working out with, hey, how are we measuring these burpees? And then make sure you do the burpee to the standard every time, and then you won't fall for mistake number 6, which is the cheater. Yep, doing great, coach. Yep, having fun. Love burpees. Love burpees. So I hope that you like this video. We learned 6 different mistakes that CrossFitters make when it comes to doing burpees. And as promised, I'm here to give you a free gift. Did you know that there were 5 daily habits that I implemented into my life that completely transformed my mental and physical fitness? I put together a guide for you for free. All you need to do is click the link in the top comment below or click the link in the description, and it's going to take you to a page where you can download the 5 daily habits that you should follow if you want to improve your health and fitness. So go download that now. Next, if you are someone who's really interested in learning burpees and want to learn all the intricacies, how to breathe through burpees, how to make it so that burpees don't suck in the middle of workouts, how to make sure that you can dominate your next burpee workout, we actually have a brand new program called the Burpee Blueprint. It's actually our most affordable program that we have ever offered, and I'm inviting you to try it for a special discount. Just click the link below, or again, the link in the top comment, and go check out the Burpee Blueprint. It is an absolutely fantastic program that we 100% guarantee will transform your burpee performance. And not just normal standard burpees like we did today. We're talking all burpees, burpees over the box, burpees over the bar, burpees of all sorts. So if you want to improve your burpees, go grab a copy of that today. And again, you're always backed by my 100% unconditional money back guarantee. Obviously, end of the video, thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, and make sure if you haven't yet, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss another WODprep video. Question of the day for you: out of the 6 mistakes, hopefully not the 6th one, we don't want any cheaters, but be honest, out of the 6 mistakes that we covered in today's video, which mistake do you make the most? And then also let me know, which mistake do you see other people in your gym making the most? Leave a comment below, let me know, and I'll see you next week. Oh. keep rolling. My mic. Ah! It didn't start.